for joining us today at this inaugural assembly. We would have chosen to continue in this assignment without ceremony, but we're encouraged by the Commissioner and the Regents to do something more formal, perhaps in conjunction with commencement exercises. These upcoming graduation exercises will be our 99th and mark the beginning of a year-long celebration. And we want very much for that celebration to focus on the college, on the institution. So we've chosen this more simple format today. And we are so grateful for the many friends and family who have joined us and for these wonderful colleagues who are on the podium with me, without whom this job could not be done. Without their support, without their sustaining influence, no one could really serve as the president of an institution. So I want to thank them very sincerely for their wonderful, wonderful support. Inaugurations can be elaborate and expensive, and this assembly has the advantage of being simple and costless. We designed it specifically that way. It's an important consideration in these extraordinarily difficult budget times. Indeed, the scholarship luncheon, to which you are all invited and for which there are still tickets available, has had all of the food and labor donated, so any money that we make will go to the college. 100% of it will go to the college. And if we make enough money, we may consider changing presidents every 6 months or so. I wish to express appreciation to our music faculty and students. We wanted to highlight them in this simple ceremony. They add so much dignity and so much class and so much enthusiasm to our campus. Dr. Abeg and all of the other faculty members have just done an extraordinary job with our music program. Music has the power to elevate our spirits and brighten our lives, and we thank you, students and faculty, for doing that for us today and on a daily basis. I also want to thank Chair Pitcher for his kind words. I'm very grateful to the Board of Regents for the confidence expressed in me, also by the Board of Trustees. We are most fortunate to have these men and women of great ability who are willing to donate without any remuneration so much of their time and talents to the enterprise of education. On behalf of the students, faculty, staff, and community, we thank you, and I thank you very much. I wish to express my profound love and appreciation to my wife, Margaret, for her unwavering support in this endeavor and all of the others that we have undertaken through the years. She continues, as you all know, to be a sensational ambassador for me and for our whole family. She has been greatly loved, and wherever we've been, people have said, let's invite Margaret and we'll figure out what to do with Steve. I'm grateful for the support of our children and their families as they stood up and were introduced to you. We have 6 of our 7 sons who are with us here today, and 4 families of grandchildren have been able to come. And Chair Pitcher pointed out to me as it was announced that our 26th grandchild was on the way. One of the little grandsons patted the mother's tummy in which the grandchild currently resides. So we know, Jake, that you were listening to what was going on. I know that their primary motivation, by the way, was to skip school for a day. But I'm hoping to gain some credibility from these ceremonies beyond just being a good tickler. I want to address some remarks today, first to our students, and then to faculty and staff, and finally to the community. To students, who many of whom are still in class, and we did not require their presence as a command performance to be here. They're serious students, and we're grateful for them. We know that they're preparing for midterms and finals so that they can graduate. I don't know if you young men and women really understand how much we love you and how deeply committed we are to your success. Many years ago, I was prompted to leave a promising Wall Street career and begin preparing to be a professor and educator. At that time, I believed strongly in the value of education, and I hoped teaching would be a useful thing to do. In those early years, as a professor, I associated with a number of young men and women with great ability and promise, just like you and all of the students on this campus. I admitted them to programs, I taught them in class, and I helped them find jobs. I believed in them because it was my responsibility, and I really did suppose that they might amount to something, but I had no real data. I didn't have any hard evidence to point to. After 7 years, I left education and accepted a number of administrative positions in various organizations. 15 years later, after I had begun teaching, I was involved in a position whose assignments took me nearly every week to a different part of the United States and on occasions to other countries. In every one of those assignments, every one, I encountered students, former students who had become doctors and lawyers and school teachers and engineers and scientists and businessmen and women. More importantly, they were PTA presidents, scoutmasters, community leaders, church leaders, and leaders of every kind. And so, my dear young friends, I now have data. I have firsthand evidence that you are for real. You really are going to amount to something. You can count on it. You can take it to the bank. You have ability. You have energy and enthusiasm. And you have compassion. In addition, you can Google and text and Twitter and tweet and TiVo. And our job as educators is to add to that store of knowledge and help you to analyze and to compute and to think and write clearly. It's to reinforce the values of honesty and integrity and hard work that you have received in your homes. It's to prepare you in every way to take your place in an increasingly complex society. Because we believe in you. And we're determined to see you succeed. Now, our determination is not altogether altruistic. In not too many years, your success will be manifested for some of us in the form of Social Security payments. We thank you in advance. To faculty and staff, I want to say thank you. Your dedication and enthusiasm for this institution and its students is totally remarkable. In this challenging environment of 40% more students and no salary, no benefit increases for what will certainly be 3 consecutive years, you have remained steadfast in your commitment to the enormous task of educating these wonderful young men and women.